Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison. Okay, I was just on the phone there. I'm just off the phone to IG Index, a kind of spread betting company, to do some research about what I'm going to be talking about today. So that's why I was a wee bit late, and I don't know why this is kind of fuzzy just now. 1 wee second. It's very dark in here. Why is that? I'm just going to try and fix the lighting. We can get this colour. Brightness. That's not working. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. It's not really going to matter. I'm just wondering why it's that colour. Strange. Okay, I'm just going to see if we're live or not just now. Sorry about this. Are we live? Are we live? Have we got anybody watching? A few people watching, but I don't think the stream is healthy. It's saying the stream is not healthy just now. I just wonder if there's anything else open. I'm going to shut that down. 1 second. No, everything seems to be okay. Right, let me know if it's okay on your end. If this is looking okay, because it's saying the stream is not healthy just now. So there might be something wrong with the speed of the broadband. Hopefully, if you can let me know in the comments. Good morning, Amazon. Okay, there's a few people in. Right, we'll just go on the premise that everything's okay. So I'll just jump over to the chat area just now. Okay, so we have Andreas is in the house. Good morning to you. Imran Chowdhury, Stephen King is in, Chris Noble, Batman is in, Mitch Dieter, Mighty Locks is in, George Charles, Alex Jug, Richard Cooper, Aloysius de Klerk is in, Marcus Jafari, High Plains Drifter, Mac Paulin, all good in Oz, all good here, Steve. Oh, so it's looking good. Okay, that's fine. It just says there was a bit of the speed wasn't up to scratch just now. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a couple of different things today. And something I've noticed on kind of overall kind of market cap that could indicate a bull run's coming for the altcoin market. But it's kind of choppy and changing. So I'll show you that in a second. But first we'll go over the markets just now. Just see what's happening at the moment. I was looking at EOS there. Okay, so we've got overall market capitalization of 123 billion. Bitcoin dominance 52.15%, kind of remained relatively stable there. Bitcoin has gone down to 3,670. Not too worried about that, kind of supported where we spoke about before at 3,600. So supporting there for the moment. Not to say it's not going to go down, but we'll look at that in a second. Who's the winners over the last 24 hours? Verge, we've seen Verge going up 25%. PundiX has gone up. Hollow has gone back up. That's the one we've got for the community. Fund Trading Coin as well. We're still holding that from 17 Satoshi. It's going back up. I still think it's going to go over 20 if Bitcoin can go back up again. Gemini, that's a stable. Ogre, Zcash, Stasis, and Chainlink are all in the green. The rest are in the red, so we've got about 93% in the red. Got Ravane down 15, Tron down 14. I had a huge run up, brilliant run up, and a lot of people were into that in the premium group, which is brilliant to see. Overall, we'll just look at any coin with a volume over 100k. Who's done the best? Encrypt Gen DNA 140%. It's gone up 195% over 7 days. Super Bitcoin. I'm not a fan of these kind of Bitcoin derivatives. 23% up, 65% over the last 24 hours. Cybermiles is up, nearly broke into the top 100, up 47%. Particle is doing well as well, like them from previously. Sedgwick is up 37%. Just see who's the biggest over the last 7 days. Still WX coins. Encrypt Gen 195% over 7 days. Even Coin, we've spoke about that, 121%, and Machine Exchange. So there's a few, we spoke about them yesterday as well. Okay, I want to have a look at something, just check here. I hope I've not lost it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I want to have a look at something here. Okay, this is the altcoin market. And the altcoin market just now is sitting at 64 billion for the moment. So $64 billion as opposed to 119 billion. Although I don't think that's right according to this. I'm just going to look at the market cap. So market cap here, total market capitalization 123. I'm just going to check to make sure this is right. It's in 58 billion. So I don't know if that figure's right. This is from TradingView. It says 64 billion there. So first of all, what I want to look at, before I look at the kind of overall picture here, I'm going to look at this just now. We'll take that off so we can see. So obviously what we've got a crossover here, which hasn't happened in a while actually. So this is the 7 EMA crossing over the 50 EMA on the daily chart. So that's not happened in a while. Now how true this is, I'm not quite sure, because this keeps chopping and changing for some reason. It says 64 billion here as the market capitalization. Coin Paprika, it's got at 58 billion, so I don't know how true this is, but it seems to be kind of updated just now. So it's crossed over, 7 EMA has crossed over the 50 EMA, which is good. We've not seen that for a while. The last time we've seen it, we kind of seen a brief crossover back in November, and the last kind of big crossover we had was in April, and we've seen an altcoin run in April as well, and it kind of went up about 60% in April before coming back down again. But what I started to notice was these kind of V-shapes. So the V-shape kind of recovery as well. I've later discovered that's what's called V-shaped recovery. So the first V-shape that I kind of noticed here was back in September, when the market capitalization was 107 billion. I'm just going to check just to make sure the sound is okay. Oh good, okay. So it was 107 billion, and it kind of fell by around 30% and kind of came back up to 120 billion again. So it fell from, say, well, 110 billion to around about 69 billion, and then back up again to its previous. And then there's another smaller one here. It was 147 billion. It fell to 122 before coming back up to 147 and then falling back down again. And so we've got big ones and small ones obviously as well. The big ones tend to drop about 60% before going back up. So we can see here, this is a big kind of V here, about 50%, and it's fell from 300 billion to around 146 billion before coming back up. This one here fell from 282 billion to 118 billion, so that fell by more, 60% before coming back up. And this is a pattern that's kind of been repeated throughout the kind of history. If we go way back, and we're talking 2015, 2014, we've got these big and small V-shapes, 2014 here. So we've got it dropping right down to, I think that's 2.9 billion, 2.9 billion, and going back up to 6.5 billion. And dropping, 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 and got these V's all along. So the latest one here, we've got this drop from 99 billion all the way down to 41 billion, and this is where we are just now. And this is the first crossover we've had of the 7 EMA crossing over the 50 EMA on the daily. So it could indicate we're kind of moving up, and we could have an altcoin run here. So just kind of put this in perspective again. We see that we're looking to bounce back up to where it was previously, around about 100 billion. So we could see from here an altcoin run of around 50% from here. That's just kind of pattern I've looked at and kind of noticed just now that I've been looking. Obviously we always look for patterns as well, but it's just a kind of pattern I'm looking at just now. So it's just a thought at the moment. It's just something to kind of think about. Could we be in another altcoin run coming up soon? And we're starting to see that the likes of Tron, the likes of Verge, and that happening just now. There's a lot of kind of alts that are kind of running up just now. Hot is back up as well, despite the fall from Bitcoin down to 3,600. The alts are still going up. PundyX doing well. That might be worth a punt for PundyX to go up to maybe 14, 15, 16. Obviously Verge is going up. We've got Grello going up as well. We've got NEM going up. IOST. So they're starting to move again. So what you'll find when Bitcoin falls sharply, usually the altcoins fall as well. But once Bitcoin stabilizes to a kind of level that people are comfortable with, i.e. 3,600, they also start to go back up again. So that's why I never kind of sold out of Hot or Hollow. I didn't sell out of that despite buying at 17. Fell down to about 14, 15. Thought, okay, this is going to go back up. Still think it's going to go back up the mid-20s. And hopefully if Bitcoin stays above 3,600, it can reach that level as well. So that's the tokens at the moment. I'll just see who else has joined us. Ari Haber is in. Tim Gash, Gary Parmenter, Mark Innes, Lawrence Matthews is in. Chardan is in. Right, 1 second. Just going to have a look at the chat just now, just see what you're saying. Oh, Imran's got a joke there. Why doesn't Superman mine Monero? Because he's afraid of kryptonite. Ah, shocking. That's terrible. And it's evening from Tasmania, watering plants. They need it. Listening to CYT-Crypto. Right. Richard, that sounds as if your plants need watering because you're listening to CYT-Crypto. I just got what you said there. Okay, Amazon now selling BTC, shipping in 2 weeks unless you get Amazon Prime. Right, full jokes here, Imran. Oh, good to hear, Steve. Okay, laugh my ass off, Imran. Juan Antonio's joined us as well. Good and cold morning from Spain. The market is crazy. Market is mental just now. Crypto Don Juan has joined us as well. Tim Garrison, morning. Kin seems to be getting mentioned on various channels. Kin is, we've never looked at Kin for a while actually. We've just looked at Kin just now. Can we see it on, how's it keeping just now? So down 7.5%, 24 GUI, if it is, GUI or whatever it is. And that's in ETH, 1 Satoshi. So it's down. You can see it's 96% down over the year. I still think it's going to do well. I do think Kin is going to do well despite the fall. Most of them have had falls, to be honest. Hi Steve, what's driving the XVG rally? I don't know. I've not seen any news that I can see that's newsworthy. Aloysius, what's your username? Mine is out on Tel. Right, Tim Gash, the 1 hour Renko on BTC. It looks like it could be time to close my short. Maybe it's not going lower. So I don't know if you know about the Renko charts. So if we just go to BTC price. So this is something I love the Renko charts as well, and Tim trades from the Renko charts. So this is on the daily. If we look on the hourly Renko charts, if you're a kind of day trader. So where are we just now? 3657. And the price for the Renko, I'm just trying to get 3650. It might still be good to be in a short. So we need to wait 3700 to close that. Yeah, it might be good to stay on the sidelines for that if you're looking at the Renko, purely on the Renko. Yeah. Kind of strange one, can't make my mind up on it. I have a ton of it though. Yeah, I still think Kin is going to do really well. Chardan will pay tax when Bitcoin has a queen's head on its face. Morning Steve, morning to you Chardan. And we're going to look at a way, and I was on the phone, this is why I was kind of late. I was on the phone to IG Index or IG.com just to clarify a few things before I kind of gave you information. Right, okay, how to not pay tax on crypto profits. We've spoke about this before, and there's a lot of these companies kind of about. One of the kind of best known ones in the UK is IG.com, and it's a spread betting firm. Now, because you're placing a bet here in the UK, I don't know what it's like in America, it might be different in America, around the world, but here in the UK, you do not have to pay tax on your bet. If you kind of place a bet and you win big time, if you win $20,000, you don't have to pay tax on it because you've already paid the tax previously. And that's the theory. So IG.com, they currently do kind of cryptocurrencies. So I've got cryptocurrencies there, and I'm just going to go over to and just log in. Steven, we don't want to do that. Open new platform. So I want to show you this as well. Now, you'd need to check out the laws in your country, but I'm presuming it's going to be the same around the world, but I don't know if you pay tax on betting in America or Australia or Canada or around the world. So I would imagine it'll be the same around the world. Hoping it'd be the same, or this information is not going to be any good to you at all. So we've got cryptocurrencies here. Obviously, we've got indices here, and we've got cryptocurrencies, and we've got kind of FX as well, and shares and commodities. So you can do spread betting for kind of almost anything nowadays. But I was thinking, okay, how do we not pay tax? If we're going to kind of go in big time into kind of crypto, how to not pay tax, and what one could be really good for spread betting. So this is on IG.com, as I said. So I'm looking at EOS, I'm thinking that could be a really good one because it's really down just now. If we look at the daily on EOS, so it's got 240 there, which is really kind of £2.40 or $2.40 it is in the markets just now. But if you look at how high it's been or where it's been kind of been up to 2,306. So that's 10 times where it is just now, basically. I'm just going to see if we can move it there. Now we can't move it any further. So NEO could be a good one as well. If we look at the daily for NEO, we've got 7.7 and it has been up to 198. So that could be an even better one. So I want to give you an example here. So if we were to go long on NEO, and say £100 a point, so for every dollar it goes up, you get £100. And it's quoted in dollars here, but it's actually pounds. 7.7 is kind of the dollar value, but we kind of bet in pounds, and you could do it in kind of dollars or whatever your country is. So $100, and we're going to buy, and say we want to put a stop loss at its lowest point for NEO, and the lowest point is round about now. This is kind of the lowest it's been for a while. So we'll say 5 away. So we'll say $2.88 is going to be the lowest point. That's when you get stopped out. So if you're to do £100 a point, it's only going to cost you £389 in margin. That means that's how much you have to put down, just in case anything went wrong. They've got the margin there. They're not going to lose out. You're never going to lose any more than £389. And what could be your possible gain on that if it went to its all-time high? So say you want to give a point of 190 to get to its all-time high. You can see the limit is there. How much would you get? You get £19,000. If it went back to its all-time high, I've got £19,000. The risk to reward ratio is 138, 1 to 38. So you're risking 1, possibly gaining 38. But this would have to be long term. This is a spot price for the likes of NEO on IG.com. It's just a spot price. The spot price means you have to pay an overnight fee. So if you're long, the overnight fee is 0.07%. So on this, your exposure is not going to be that much, to be honest. So you're going to pay about £1 every single night. Over the year, if you're doing that over the year, it's £365, unless it does go up to 190, obviously. The more value it has, the more you're going to pay overnight kind of charges. So I still think this could be a good way to look at it. But if we kind of up the ante here and say, okay, we'll go £500 a point. We'll go £500 a point to buy. We'll do the stop at £5 again, or $5, down to $2.86. As long as it doesn't go below that, you're still going to be in the game. You're never going to lose. The margin is going to be 1,942. But if it did go back up to its all-time high of 197, again, £95,000 tax-free. That would be totally tax-free. So you'd have to keep it open for a long time, and you're going to pay these overnight charges. And the higher it moves up, obviously, the higher the overnight charges are going to be as well. So it just depends on your overall kind of open position for that. So that would be £500 or £7, £3,500. 0.07 of 3,500 would be around about £2.60 or something like that. So as an alternative to not paying tax on crypto, so we could look at the other ones. EOS, I was looking at EOS. I think that's a really interesting one as well. If we do £100 on EOS and put a stop at where $2.40, we'll say, what's the lowest it's ever been? Say 45, so we say 200, and we do a buy. So the lowest, we go to the very lowest that EOS has ever been, which is what? So it's 2.4 just now, so it's 0.4, 45 cents in other words. And if we go, the limit would be 1,000. That's not even half, so we go 2,000. So that's going back to the highest, and that's 1, and we want to go 100. So that would be too much for EOS because there's no point. So we'll go £10 a point, £50 a point. £50 a point, your margin would be £6,000. Your stop would be the lowest it's ever been. It's probably not going to go to that price again, although you never know. And the limit, you're going 2,000 points if it gets to its highest, and you've got £100,000 tax-free, plus your overnight charges. And you're going to have to pay your overnight charges as well. So it's just a thought, and I wondered if anybody's actually doing that, or I wonder if anybody's actually thought about that to mitigate some of the kind of profit, if you are making profit, to mitigate some of the tax on that as well. It could be another way to kind of hedge on tax. So we'll just go to some of the comments. So many projects are hitting their roadmap milestones, receiving positive press and having electronic herd of investors waiting to pounce when BTC runs. I think BTC is going to run relatively soon. I don't think we're going to have a 2-year bear market. I don't think that's going to happen. And I'll tell you why in a second. Imran, Cardano looks like it's a perfect storm with Shell release and just that's hitting all the milestones at the right time. Cardano looks amazing just now. And I don't know if they've got actually Cardano here as a cryptocurrency. I don't think. Be good if they had actually. So Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash, I would never touch them because they're going down. Ether, Stellar, EOS, Neo, Bitcoin Cash, never touch that. Litecoin, Ripple, Bitcoin, Ether. So good if they had Cardano on a spread bet, but they don't. But Ripple would be good in a spread bet, EOS would be good in a spread bet, and Neo would be good in a spread bet as well. Ari Haber, I've been correlating moon phases. Fascinating. Actually, you've been saying that. I've been looking at the full moons and what's been happening with the Bitcoin price. And there's a correlation, depending on what kind of moon is in what cycle, there's a correlation between the Bitcoin price and kind of moon cycles as well. I wasn't going to ever speak about this, but now that you bring it up, it'd be interesting. I don't know if you're joking or not, but it'd be interesting to kind of hear your thoughts on that. Nick Parish, morning from Thailand. Good morning to you. Stu Johnson, haven't seen you in a while. Morning, all red and green. Red and green, yep. El Nino, have I missed the tax avoidance part? No, it's talking about spread betting. The tax avoidance is using spread betting as a way to hedge against your possible tax. But you have to pay overnight fees, so you have to check with the company. And if in your country, I don't know what country you're from, if you're in a country where betting doesn't attract any tax, then you're golden. Imran Chowdhury, HMRC has a whole page on CryptoUp. Yeah, they've just released that. Well, I say just, within the last month. They've just released it because they hadn't updated it in 4 years, but it's literally just been updated. How about CFDs on IG index? A trade on there, also useful info. Yeah, CFDs contract for differences on IGX as well. I don't know how they do that with cryptocurrencies, but I'm just talking about kind of spread betting. But spot prices, that's the only thing. If it was kind of future contracts, that might be a better thing to do, and this is where kind of ETFs come into play as well. Tim Gash, yeah, that's why I don't close till the green is locked in. Richard Cooper, no, the garden needs water, I need CYT. Cheers, mate. Imran Chowdhury, would you say that's a loophole by using IG Group to not pay taxes? You could use a VPN perhaps in another country. You could use a VPN, but it's like, you've almost got like a KYC with IG Index, and it'll be the same for the others as well. So I don't think you'd be able to use a VPN. Depends. It just depends. You could get somebody else from the UK to trade for you, because it doesn't matter. There's no tax at all. So I could make £1 million in tax profits, or sorry, £1 million in profits, and not get taxed on it. So somebody else, not that I would do it for anybody else, just in case something happened. But somebody else, you could use somebody in the UK, for example. Imran Chowdhury, almost 5 new cryptocurrency ATMs, and so I've seen that news as well. The Traveller, has your faith in crypto been shaken? Is it really a viable currency for the mainstream in the not too distant future? Yes, not been shaken whatsoever, not one bit. In fact, I think the more kind of Bitcoin price goes down and the prices go down, the more I start to believe in it. Because I do think there's manipulation there, and I do think a lot of us kind of traders have been like sheep. We're selling off when the big kind of companies are selling off, or the big people are selling off as well. And they're selling off for a reason. It's not because Bitcoin is not viable. It's because they want to accumulate more. This is the accumulation phase of Bitcoin. We have to realise that. Even if it goes down to $1,000, still the accumulation phase. And we've got to kind of understand that. Kathy Davison, hi everyone, hope you're doing well. We're going to have another alt run. Did we have Digitex at times 10? Did XRP explode? Did Bitcoin explode? I'm guessing not based on the positive pattern. Hope I'm wrong. Nothing kind of exploded just now, but from what I've just kind of showed you, this kind of V pattern, this kind of V pattern that I showed you in the kind of altcoin market, we could be due another altcoin run, but speculation, and it's kind of based on the kind of charts as well, kind of what I've shown you there according to this V pattern. Just going to see if that comes up again. I need to go to the daily. So there's been a lot of V patterns in the kind of market. This is just the altcoin market without Bitcoin in it. So you can see these kind of V's happening where the altcoin market dips big time, maybe by about 60%, but comes back up again and hits the kind of level it was before. But if a market dips, say from 100 billion down to 41 billion, that's loss of 60%. So if it goes back up 60% again, that doesn't go back up to the same level. A lot of people kind of forget that as well. So, but it goes back up by about 140% to get back up to the same level if it drops 60%. So I hope that makes sense. A lot of people don't kind of factor that in as well. If something drops 60%, if it goes back up 60%, it doesn't go back up to the same level as it was before. It has to kind of almost, well, it does have to double to get to the same level as before. Ari Haber, no joke, I'm a Yorkshireman. Excellent. So there is a correlation. If you look at the kind of moon phases, there is some kind of strange correlation. I've not looked into it too deeply, but I was looking at it strangely enough last month. Gary Stewart, Moon, Star and Sun don't have an impact on the value of crypto. No, it doesn't have a value on crypto, but it has a value on energy of people. The moon phases has I'm not going to get too woo-woo, but the moon phases does have an impact on the energy of the people in the world. Just like it has an impact on the oceans. That's how the kind of oceans kind of come in, go out, kind of come in, go out every 28 days. It kind of changes as well, and it does have a huge impact on the energy of the world and the energy of the people as well. And that's why they say, I used to work in a mental health ward when I was a nurse, when I was a trainee nurse. I used to work in a mental health ward, and you heard this kind of about the full moon. There must be a full moon tonight, everybody's going a bit crazy. It's not a PC word, I know, but just telling you what they said. Everybody's going a bit crazy. There was something to that. That whenever there was a full moon out, that then kind of weird things, people would start to do weirder things, and there's a correlation between kind of crime going up when there's a full moon. There's just a lot of stuff with the moon, and it does affect your energy. Trust me, it does. I know it sounds weird, but it does. Dirty Fergie, I wonder if they follow XVG. Imran Chowdhury, I'm not shaking, just a little stirred by the bear market, but that's okay, I'm totally in. I believe we're watching the future of finance in front of our eyes. I believe so as well, but we're looking at it from a microscopic point of view just now, so we can't see the bigger picture just now. If we were to take a step back and say, okay, look in the next 5 years, where could cryptocurrency be? It's not going to go away, we believe that. I think it's past that point where it's kind of either going to stay or go. We're past that point, so it's here to stay. It's just what happens here from here on in. Russia is going to trigger the new bull run. They are going to protect their national wealth for US sanction by buying BTC massively. That's another point as well. I want to kind of talk about that. So there's another couple of news stories here. Does Russia have its eye on Bitcoin to get around US sanctions? Possibly. Another news story as well, and I kind of spoke about this on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. Russian government buying Bitcoin, largest Bitcoin price catalyst. Here's the thing. If we look at Bitcoin just now, market capitalization just now is 64 billion. If you were the leader of a country and you had, say, $460 billion worth of gold as a reserve, you could sell 10% of that and buy all of the Bitcoin in the world. Or sell 15% of it and buy all the Bitcoin in the world. Now that's not going to happen because a lot of people are holding Bitcoin. A lot of people are not going to be selling it. It's going to be in their wallets for a long, long time. So you're never going to be able to buy 17 million Bitcoins. So effectively, even if they bought half of it, Russia could, and any other country could as well, sell 10% of the gold that they've got just now, sell 10% of the gold, which would drive the gold market down, obviously, which would kind of further kind of exacerbate the situation with gold and people coming into crypto. They could sell 10% of all the gold, which is $460 billion worth, and buy, say, half of all the Bitcoin in the world, say 8 million, which would be about $32 billion, which would be the 10% that I was talking about in the gold. 10% of 460 billion is 46 billion. They could buy that in crypto. So for me, that's not going to happen. Because how would they buy the Bitcoin? They'd have to go to the OTC markets. The OTC markets have only got a certain number of Bitcoin. They've not got an infinite amount because there's not an infinite amount that they've got. So I don't even know how much the OTC market would be. So they would have to go to the OTC market first, maybe buy 1 million Bitcoin, and then the OTC market would still have to go through the exchanges and start buying Bitcoin just to cover Russia's interest in Bitcoin, if that was going to happen. So it's not enough. It's not enough kind of to happen just now. If it was to happen, there'd be a massive, massive bull run in Bitcoin, because other countries would start saying, okay, what's happening here? What is Russia really buying kind of Bitcoin? They're going to have to get in on the act as well. So it wouldn't be a case of going from 4,000 to 5,000 over a period of 5 or 6 months. It'd be going from $4,000 up to literally, say, $100,000 in the space of 1 month, if that was going to happen, if that was happening just now. So we could see a massive, massive shift in the price of Bitcoin within a space of a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, if Russia does start buying up. If this rumour proves to be even, if they are just starting to buy Bitcoin, then other governments are going to look at this and say, we'll need to get in on this before Russia really completely dominate the market. Or the other way that they could do this is just discount Bitcoin altogether and just start buying Ethereum or XRP and make that the kind of gold, if you will. So there's a lot of kind of things at play here politically and obviously financially. So it could be interesting. I think 2019 is going to be really, really interesting. And just looking at comments, we're nearly finished for today. Is this a good time to buy Bitcoin? Is the title on the Metro paper on the London Underground today. For me personally, yes. Without a doubt, this is a good time to buy Bitcoin. SMH really does, really, LOL, that's funny. Get ready for a dump. Aloysius de Klerk, you're still bullish on AdBank. Ubex is also something I'm looking at currently to get into. AdBank, I think, is going to do really well. AdBank are still working on the background. They're still bringing out partnerships. So I think AdBank, we'll just have a look at some of these as well. There was another one I kind of was bullish on as well, which is Blockport. That's started to move as well. So just have a look at coin signals. And it's Friday. We can take a wee bit longer if you're willing to stay. So this is Metamorph. Metamorph still at 86. I'm still bullish on Metamorph. It's just not working. It's just the price is down just now. It doesn't reflect what they're doing in the background. BAB still the same. Between 10 or 9 and 10 it is now. So still within that channel. It's been within that channel since September. Still in there, but it's coming down to the lower side of the channel, which is 9 Satoshi, which is not good. Digitex futures. Where are they just now? 1216 is staying relatively stable for the moment. 1216 just now, and we could see that turning up again. And Howdo, where are they just now? And I noticed they got a mention in the 21 Cryptos magazine as well. I don't know if you've read 21 Cryptos. I think it's only $10 an issue or something. But some good articles in there. 299, so they've come back up slightly from where they were, which is 289. So I do expect Howdo to easily kind of treble once they kind of release everything and everything's up and running again. Who else were we looking at? Right, okay, BPT. Blockport. You can see Blockport has risen quite dramatically. I noticed this was in my kind of portfolio the other day. It's went up by over 100% since December. So there, another one that's kind of working away in the background. And this was one of the ones I said, okay, this is going to be one of the top, not top 5 cryptos, but it's a hidden gem. So in the ebook that I kind of produced, Blockport was the hidden gem, and it's starting to move just now. From its all-time lows, it's went up 100%, 120% so far. So it's starting to move again. It's still moving just now. So Blockport, I think, could be big in 2019. We'll just have a look at Blockport and see what the market cap is. So we've got a market capitalization of 4.2 million. 4.2 million. And this was the one I said could 30x. So it could 30x. I'm not saying from here, but where it was. So I thought it would go up to 60 million. So it could 15x from here as well. But do your own research, just my opinion, and it's my biased opinion because I've invested in Blockport as well. But I do think it's going to have a good run, and it's starting to move over the last month up to 93%. The other one, who we were kind of talking about there, AdBank, that was it. So have a look at AdBank as well. And that's at its lowest just now, so a good time to buy, in my opinion. Do your own research. But it's starting to move up. It's at 30 Satoshi just now. It has been as low as 28 Satoshi. So it's moved up slightly. So just have a look at the kind of bigger picture and see where that has been. So it has been as high as 290. It's 30 just now. So say 9 times where it is just now. A 9x from here. I think I could easily do that. I think it could easily kind of 30x. So we'll see what happens with AdBank, but I'm still very bullish on AdBank as well, yes, to answer your question. Tanja, I believe Russia or some other country might buy it up to have the control. I think they're still too weary of it just now, but if you're the leader of the country, you'd start kind of budgeting some for Bitcoin. You'd start budgeting a lot for Bitcoin if you could. If you could, obviously you've got to justify it, but with corrupt countries like Russia and other countries as well, you would find the money without having to tell the people. Slow Twist, sorry for my late join, but what's your opinion about Cardano? Love Cardano. I think it's going to do amazing things. Been talking about it for months and think it's going to do brilliant. So I think Cardano is going to be one of the big ones for 2019, as well as XRP, as well as a lot of other ones. But I think Cardano is going to do amazing, and you're starting to see that just now. And I'd be accumulating at these prices. Nels Bull is in the house as well. Electronium just got listed onto Blogport. I've seen that as well. I'm on charity, so it's a long run coin. Yes, Cardano is definitely long term. It's just starting up, the engines are warming up with all the updates. It's already moving up again in the chart, more than TRX. It could flip BTCV into 10 position soon. Yes, I think Cardano is going to do amazing. Where are we just now? Yeah, it's not got that far to go to get Bitcoin SV out of there. And I think the likes of Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV are not going to be in the top 10. They're not going to be in the top 100 this year. At the end of this year, I don't think they're going to survive at all. My opinion, I don't think we should be investing in egos like Craig Wright, Roger Ver, people like that. I don't think we should be investing in those. So I think they're going to be out the top 100 this year, towards the end of this year. I don't think they're going to survive. So yeah, Cardano I think will be in the top 10 easily and should be in the top 5. EOS, I'm looking more and more at EOS as well, and I'm liking more and more EOS. Stellar Lumens as well. So the top ones are going to do really well, and it could really still 10x, 20x, 30x from here. Big time. Same with XRP as well. Ethereum, I still think is going to do well. It just needs to reinvent itself, or not reinvent itself, it just needs to do something and offer something different from what it's offering just now. Crypto Dread, thanks like always. Let's all have a blessed day. You as well, mate. Gavin Mearns is in the house. Good to see you. Imran Chowdhury, can't wait till we're going, seeing how much money have you made. I know, that'll be good. That'll be good when that starts to happen. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for just now. I'll put links. I keep saying that, I keep forgetting. I'll put links in the comments for you as well. IG.com, you can go to IG.com, check out. But you'll have spread betting firms in your country as well. So check out the tax situation if you're betting, because this is a form of betting here as well. So it's worth looking at, I think, to mitigate. And now is the time to start looking at it when the likes of EOS, the likes of Neo, the likes of Ripple are all down at kind of low prices. Bitcoin is going to be different. You're going to be getting charged a lot more kind of margin on Bitcoin. If I was to go $10 or £10 a point on Bitcoin to buy, and I was to put my stop at say 200, the margin is $18,000, obviously because of the risk there as well, and because of the volatility of it. So it just wouldn't be worth doing spread betting on Bitcoin. It just wouldn't be worth it at all. But for the smaller ones, definitely worth it. Ripple, Neo, EOS, Stellar. If you want to do Bitcoin Cash and other ones like that as well, you can. I wouldn't touch them, as I said, but that's up to yourself. Okay, I'll leave it there just now. Have a brilliant weekend, whatever you're doing. Call of the day I didn't do yesterday, obviously, because the Bitcoin price was going down, and it was right to do that. Didn't see XVG, to be honest. Didn't see Verge, but that'd already crossed over. But I might do another one today, depending on the Bitcoin price. So 12 o'clock today, I'll just release another video if it's going to be good for you. So I'll do a call of the day. Okay, that's it. I'm going to leave it there just now. Have a brilliant weekend, whatever you're doing. Until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.